said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
Like everybody we did, like, you know what, right? We've been on a journey with this. Kieran's new to the crew, like, but obviously, like, everyone does. You see the podcasts online, and you're like, I could talk. And you're like, so basically, how am I going to spend my millions? That's the only question. You know what I mean? And like, you quickly come to the realization that, like, that isn't real. Nah, that isn't real at all. And you basically, I think everybody goes through like a bit of a moment where you either, which is probably 99% of people, they like think, oh, like, well, fuck this, I'm not going to get what I want out of it, sort of thing. But if you change like the mentality where you just think, well, hang on a minute, like, I just enjoy doing it. Do you know what I mean?
So I always got dead deep, dead quick. Like, we had one lad on who was just like a ex-Northern League footballer, like mate of mine, quite popular in the area, and we got quite a few views off that. And then the next lad we got on had been sexually abused by his coach.
Jesus Christ.
So it went from like just a general chit chat with a few footy lads talking about this and that, like how it was, to a lad who'd just been through court and it's like just open and out and honest. And I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. And the next fella was like a lad who played when he was back in the day when they were chucking bananas on the pitch and all that. And then we found it hard to follow that up. You know, we've gone like, especially in lockdown, where people just trying to get people on teams. You've gone from like a national thing. It was at the time. It was on BBC News and all that. And Dion, bless him, come on and told the whole story, like bare ass and all, like literally told the whole stuff. And we were like, whoa, that's powerful. That, like, I would want to follow that up.
Did you have like a vague idea about?
We knew that was going to be, but we didn't know it was going to be how it was. And he worked for the Offside Trust, and we got like their jingle and a bit of like charity work through it and stuff like that. But then to try and follow that up, I think it was just a bit daunting for us, where you've got two completely different episodes, and then you've done something that's quite serious, and a man who's outing himself to everybody on your podcast, and then next thing you've just got an ex-Crystal Palace footballer talking about racism, and then after that it was just another footballer, and we were just like, it's just going to peter out after we've reached our peak 2 episodes in.
Yeah, we peaked too early, I bet. Well, no, mate, it's an awful thing to talk about that, innit? Do you know what I mean?
And he was, I wouldn't say he was a mate of mine, but I knew him, so like for him to be as like open and honest on like just with a couple of lads who he didn't really know on a podcast that wasn't really doing that was brilliant for him. But I don't think we were just a bit of a mess about, really, like, and then all of a sudden it went to that, and it's just a bit daunting, you know. So
the podcast thing, like I've said it on here before, like I have to get used to that. Like the podcast thing, like, do you know what it was, right? And this is my little like deepness in it. I know we've just met in that, but my deepness in it, right, was I didn't like the job I was doing, right? You know, like a lot. You know, when you're in a position in life where, and loads of people will be, where they're in a job, but because of like financial restraints and stuff, like, you know what it's like being a grown up. It's a nightmare, innit? Like you can't just quit and think, I'm going to go back to college. You know, you just can't do it because you've got people to look after and stuff. And I hated my job, and you know, like starting the podcast, right, or just filming stuff, made you believe that, oh, like this is going to work, even though it wasn't working, right? And what I noticed is something mental, and this is like half the story. In the first, like, literally from day one when we started doing it, and like for the first few months, obviously, like, it's not going to take off straight away, but just the action, right, of doing it and feeling like I was doing something else completely changed my mentality with my job process, and it just made the job like, oh, I can live with this because it's just for now. Do you know what I mean? And in a way, I think I'm still riding that coattail a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because it gives you like, I don't know, like a little bit, not to sound all like, you know, like deep and that, but like gives you a little bit of a light to think, does not, you know, it might not always be like this.
We'll get onto that, man. That was similar to me. I was a football coach since I was 16. Like, was a volunteer in college, and then got a job. And I know we're going to talk about losing 3 jobs at once, and I went off to America for a bit. But I was just, even at 26-year-old, 27, 28, I was just carrying a bag of balls on my back into a school, and I could do it with my eyes shut. I could do it with my eyes closed. I could put the best session on ever, a load of kids in a secondary school or primary school, and I was getting out from it. I was just getting money from it. And obviously, we'll talk about events that happened in my life where I thought, like, why am I doing that? And then I've sort of stumbled upon a career now where I enjoy going to work every day. I manage a successful business, and the business will just go from strength to strength for the people that work with me and the people that I work for. So I can see where you get that from, and it's like sometimes you just take something in your life to happen, or a bit of a moment, or a bit of realisation, and you sort of find out where you're going, really, don't you?
Definitely some power in that, like, and you're, let's get into it. So, okay. Are we rolling, Ron?
We are rolling, sir.
We are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, People Like Us podcast. You're in for a treat. From Blagging VIP in Vegas, this is ChatGPT, by the way.
No, this is great.
From Blagging VIP in Vegas to climbing Ben Nevis, today's guest has seen it all. Football, business, charity, and some tough personal battles. He's now using those experiences to change young people's lives. We are honoured to be joined today by Mr. Deano Browne.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great entrance. That
It is. Thank you, ChatGPT. You know, once you used to have to do this like manually. It's amazing now. Do you know what, right? It's a double-edged sword, right? When we first started, I mean, ChatGPT was around, right? But I'm a bit of a dinosaur, all that. So I would sit, like, on a Sunday, right? I would sit all afternoon going through people's socials, like, because obviously, like, if you're, like, for example, let's start again. If Matthew McConaughey is coming on your show, you don't need to Google much.
No,
You got a lot, it's all up here, you know all about him. But when you're doing it to someone, right, that you've never met, like, it's not up here. So you have to, like, find it out, and you can't, like, ring him up. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to seem a bit professional. And I'd spend all afternoon writing this stuff. When the podcast would come, I didn't need to look, because it was all up here. I'd literally lived in their world. Like, I stalked them for a day. So it was dead good. But then ChatGPT was introduced to me, and now you just press something, like, literally in 2 seconds. So it's like,
Send me that there. You'll have to send me that blurb there.
your work's done. But, like, truth is, I don't know any of this. Do you know what I mean? So, like, this could be rubbish in here. Like, do you know, so we'll soon find out anyway. So, yeah, Deano Browne, thank you for talking to people like us.
No worries, it's a pleasure.
You've been busy, mate.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, yeah. Life's gone quick.
Yeah. And do you know what, mate? Look, before we even do start, I have crossed paths with you over our life.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was at college, in your college, same as you.
Yeah.
I've seen you about town, and do you know what, mate? Once I found out you were coming on, did reach out to a few people and just, you know, and do you know what, mate? People sing your praises.
That's I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that, yeah.
Really do. Like, I've heard, you know, some of them I won't say on the show and stuff, but, like, I've heard some stories, like, and they're all like, that's a proper stand-up guy, that, like, do you know, like, so.
Yeah, I think treat others how you want to be treated is probably how I was brought up, to be fair, so I'd like to think that I've done good to people. Yeah.
Well, starting with the brought up, let's do a little bit of This Is Your Life.
Go on then, yeah, let's go.
So how did it all begin? Where are you from?
From Darlington. My dad was in the army, and he was from Birmingham, and my mum was a Darlington girl.
Did you get some military, like, upbringing? Was some strictness?
A little bit.
What was that?
A little bit. To be fair to me, Dad, he had a tough upbringing.
Did he?
So he I wouldn't say he struggled to parent. He wouldn't, because he's been great to me. But that mixed with some military stuff, yeah, me and my brother Liam, we probably did get a little bit of a military stuff in there as well. And my mum, bless her, when my dad was away, like, sort of brought us up as well. But my dad lost his parents really young, so I think he sort of learned ad hoc of how to parent. And I know he looked after his sisters and his family as well when he was growing up. So that was a good start for me, really, in life. And my mum and dad worked so hard for me and my brother to get what we're getting, to be the people that we are today. So I'll be forever grateful for that. I lived town centre, went to Gurney Pease Primary School, and I went from there to Horton. And just from there to Darlington College, so just like a typical Darlington lad, really.
What was school like? Were you like, because everyone fits into like a lane, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, let's name a few. I mean, there's a few sub lanes, but like, you're the naughty kid, you're the football. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you were, right?
Yeah,
you were
try to be.
You were the football
Try to
kid,
be,
yeah. The populars, and there's the populars, but sometimes the populars are the footballs.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're verged on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the, bless them, you know, the rest, you know, and they don't have an easier time as everybody else.
No.
Before we quickly move on, I just want to ask, because we asked this on our last podcast, what football boots did you have when you were a kid?
So the first ever pair, and I can remember, and I've got a son now, Rio, who's 4, and he doesn't like football yet, but he's going to be able to pick his football boots when he can. But I remember having to go to like JJB Sports, and then like they've still got them now. All the expensive ones are on the wall. I remember my mum and dad like kosher me over to like the gold Umbro boots that were like 28 quid on offer. So my first boots I can remember having were just like a pair of naughty gold Umbro boots. And I think some of the lads would say now, some of my pals would say they can see that in me now.
Yeah. Naughty Umbros.
Yeah, naughty, yeah.
What were you again, Kieran?
Mine would be Curials.
Mercurials. Yeah, that's showing your age,
Yeah, I was young. I had Mercurials. They were gold ones, say R7, sock boot, everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice.
Beautiful.
You got kicked up and down as you played against me then.
Yeah. No, I was a Puma King guy for what it,
stand up. Yeah, that's nice. That.
Yeah, they were the business then. I don't think Predators were around. I don't think they came a bit later, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah. There was no Beckham when I was in junior school.
Was there not?
I think he was in junior school, to be honest.
Showing your age, that.
Yeah, but right. So normal, Darlington stuff, Horton, but that was interesting.
Yeah, it was a nice mix, if I'm honest. And like, I always think when you look back, you don't really change, do you? Really, like you are who you are. And I know you were saying before, I'd like to think I was one of the popular kids. And for me, school was like a social event. And like, you know yourself, I've seen you in plenty of bars back in the day, so like I'm a bit of a socialite myself, or I like to think I am. So like, thinking back in school, I think I got 2 C's in science, but I've got good common sense. I'm not thick, but like it was more the social aspect for school for me, and that's sort of what's come back in my life. It's come full circle, and I think that's why I'm going to be as successful as I'm going to be, is because you can hold conversation, you can speak to people, you can look after professionals, you can do whatever you want and be confident in doing it.
I mean, some of the, I'm sure we'll circle back to this with what you're doing now, but some of the brightest kids I knew didn't pass any exams. Yeah. I would never, listen, I'm certainly no Einstein, but my highest grade in school was a D. I got 1 D, and then I got E's, F's and G's. Now you'd think of that and think, oh my God, like you must have really struggled. No, I wasn't, I'd say I was average. I knew who the, less intelligent kids were. They were clear to see. I was articulate. I could speak. I could think fast. But I just don't think it's a good measure. But we'll come back around to that later.
Yeah, definitely. I'm passionate about that. What you're saying, yeah.
So I'm going to jump there. But for the guest, what did you do after school? I know the answer. You went into like football stuff, right?
Yeah. So I went to Darlington College, and they had a link with Darlington Football Club where it was like an academy. So it was sort of, if you just weren't good enough, they sort of did like a pre-academy. So I went to Darlington College for 3 years, obviously because I didn't do that well in my GCSE, so I did 3 years at college. Ended up with like a BTEC, which everyone laughs about, BTEC level 3. But that set me up, again, the social aspect, being able to mix with people from all over the North East, being able to meet people who now are still working in the professional football game and taking the good stuff off them, because I think it's really important in whoever you meet. Take the stuff that you need, take the good stuff, and leave the stuff that you don't. So I met some great people on my journey. One of my coaches was Graham Jones, and he's a coach for Newcastle at the minute, coach for England, coach for Belgium, coach for Everton. Wow. And I could drop him a text and he'll get back to me. So I've still got relationships from 22 years ago that still stand up to this day. So college was a really important time for me. And if you think back, don't want to name any bars, but like back in the day, we were out 4 days a week. I could get little blue tokens in a certain nightclub, and if you went out on a Thursday, it'd still go out on a Sunday because you had blue tokens left. So
yeah, buddy.
When I think about those times, I think of them fondly, and I made a lot of friends then, and that are still close friends today. So I wouldn't change those times. And yeah, I think that set me up really well with my home life and my educational background. I think that set me up in good stead in what I'm doing now and in life, really.
I think so. Sorry, I can't get out of my head. Ron, you've offered Deano a drink, right?
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say.
Keeping it out the way.
Yeah, I literally just put my drink down. I thought, what if he's thirsty? But you've given him one, right?
I offered him one, but then I had a look on the table and I didn't say it was there. Then I was starting to like second guess myself because I was like, did I not give him a drink? I was like, I know I went in that kitchen. I got a bottle of water out that wasn't for me. And then I was looking at that one. I was like,
did I just sub
drink? Yeah. And I was like, oh,
imagine.
No.
Yeah, but I do remember. You guys, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was in that building you were in. I was doing something else. But I do remember your group, and I do remember there you seemed to be a lot of camaraderie. Like you seemed like pals. You seemed like you were always having a good time in your group. I wasn't sure what you were doing. I just knew it was something to do with football.
Yeah, so like on the morning you used to go and train. In the afternoon.
Where did you play? Because there was no field.
So sometimes you'd go up to like where the QE fields are now really and play up there, or behind the old college there was a little bit of a field there.
There was, yeah.
And then at times there's loads of places. We went through Catterick sometimes. Sometimes you had to get the bus in the morning through to Durham and train through to Durham. So we were all over the place, to be fair. But as I say, fond memories, sort of a pretendy footballer, I'd say. But in the first year I was one of the better players.
To me, you always seemed like pros. I thought you all were.
Yeah.
Didn't you have like tracksuits and stuff?
Yeah, we had tracksuits with your numbers on, and if you used to get kicked out the cornmeal, it used to be number 5 was in there messing about.
Where did you play, Deano? What position?
I was a centre half. I was a centre back, but I was too nice to get anything. Like,
right.
I was quite quick back in the day, so that got me out of a load of trouble. But I was probably a bit too soft to go any further than what I did. And as I've already said, I like the social side of things. So I was fit. Don't get me wrong. I was a fit boy back in the day, but like I didn't really probably have the desire to go any further, if I'm honest. So,
well, how many people could say that,
Yeah, I'm not saying I was blessed with it.
Did you have an idol as a centre half? Did you want to be a centre half or?
Yeah, so Rio Ferdinand's my idol, and my son's called Rio, but I'm going to say that's not because of Rio Ferdinand. I had some T90 football boots, and I even bought remember the white and red ones?
Yeah.
I bought a number 5 to put on the heel. This could be quite embarrassing, to be fair, if people are watching this. So I had a number 5 on the heel. For the 3 years I was at college, I was number 5. And there's a story about Rio Ferdinand doing his hair the same as me when I went to Sunderland v Man United.
Right.
But we won't get into that because everyone laughs when I tell the story.
Let's tell it.
I kind of want to hear it now.
For the sake of the podcast. What is it?
So I think it's when Man United had the blue kit, the blue away kit, like a third kit. It was like blue and red. Rooney was playing, Ronaldo, Ferdinand, and I went to watch the game at the stadium. I with one of the lads from college.
Right.
He was a season ticket holder. And
that one, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. Young Deano Browne stood waiting for the Man United players to come past because back in the day I was a Man United fan because I won everything.
Yeah.
Until I sort of realised that was a bit of a glory supporter. Anyway, and I remember like all the Man United players getting on the bus. And then Ferdinand's just there, and like he's my idol at this time, do you know what I mean? And he's just got his normal haircut. But I had cornrows then, so like with a bit of blonding.
Yeah.
So I had cornrows, and I was like, Rio, and he's looking, I was like, do your hair like this. So I thought out of it. A week later, I'm at my nana's house, and I opened the paper, and there's a big page spread on Rio Ferdinand with exactly the same cornrows as me.
No.
But I tell that story, all my workmates, they'll buzz off this because I told them I was going to tell them the story and they wouldn't believe me, but I'm going to take that claim. I think we went to the World Cup with the same hairdo because you've seen Deano Browne in Sunderland.
Let's have a look at that dude. Let's have a look at that dude, Kieran. Let's have a look. What? So, like, hang on. The timeline, like, you swear blind, the timeline's right.
I'm telling you, yeah.
You're telling me now, right? He didn't have that do.
Nah.
You pointed at your head, said, do like this.
He ended up having that for ages.
I remember. That's the Rio I remember. That's like, that was like super Rio.
So I remember watching Rio. Can you just confirm that you're saying 17-year-old Deano Browne with cornrows in Sunderland on it?
Look, I'm sure he listens. I'm sure he can't wait. He's got his own podcast, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I listened to it, actually. He's pretty good. I like him. Well, I'm going with it, Deano. I'm saying you did.
As long as you say it's all right. It's all right with me.
I'm going with it, yeah. Look, right, so, okay. So we did the college. We were partying.
Yeah.
Having a good time, balancing education with... with that life, with the social life.
The walks to college on a Friday morning and a Monday morning after you've been to
minimal sleep,
escapades or slow kids or whatever. And one thing that I always used to get stereotyped to the maximum, like, because I was out all the time.
So how were you stereotyped? Do you think?
Everyone thought I was on drugs and that all the time and whatever, and that just wasn't my scene. I like to drink, I like to have a dance, that's one thing where I didn't mind. But you could hear people, I was out all the time, everything like that. Honest, I think the only time I've ever took drugs in my life was I might have had a bit of a pipe in year 9 or something,
Right, yeah.
And that's one thing where I know what it's like to be stereotyped. I obviously had dreadlocks and stuff, so people think, oh, he smokes weed and that all the time, he's always, and so now it's like, treat people how you want to be treated, like I said at the start to you there. So that's one thing where I always just... how you are now with me is how I treat you, and that's how it is. Like, from the outside looking in, I thought people used to think I was a bit of a party animal and up all night and doing this and doing that, but that was never me.
No.
I mean, I was laughing before when I was thinking about, on the notes that I send you, at times we used to have 12, 13, 14 lads in my mum and dad's 2-bedroom terrace house.
No
because
way.
we lived in the town centre. All the lads used to come to mine, and I remember one time I had about 10 people in my house, and my mum shouting up the stairs, "Do you know there's people at the door?" So I've come downstairs, and there's a lad I don't even know, and his lass wanting to come into mine, into my bedroom, because that's where all the lads met. And I was like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm so-and-so's mate." I'm like, "Who's she?" He's like, "Oh, that's me lass." I'm like, "Oh, do you think you can just come into my house and have like a couple of pre-drinks before town?"
I know, yeah.
But they were like good memories, obviously, your escapades and then your slow kids and all that after, like, and they've made me a bit of me today, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. No, I think it made us all. How old are you, Deano, if you don't mind me asking?
38.
38. Yeah, similar age, yeah. I'm 40, so I was a little bit headier, but yeah, those days, I suppose everybody's probably got good fond memories of being young, but there were good times. There were really good times, and to be honest, the drugs thing, like, I get it, obviously the stereotyping, but my memory of that time is, there were about, like, there was things kicking about, but maybe I just sound like an old fart, but it didn't seem to be as bad then.
No, I think you're right in what you're saying.
It seemed to be less.
It was
like,
different, wasn't it? Like,
it was drinking.
Yeah.
Like, everyone just got really drunk.
Yeah, I just felt at the time like everyone had a bit of a, not everyone's the wrong word, but you hear whispers and like a bit of negativity towards me and my pals and that for being out a bit, but I'm each to their own, me. Like, do what you got to do. Like, I'm not bothered. I don't think less of you. I don't think more of you. Just as long as you're a sound person. Like, I think everyone has to have a niche somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Of course they do. Yeah, like you said, look, you got through your college. You finished. You got your BTEC.
Yeah.
So you got through it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let him say it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So right, you've got through it then. So what we're talking here, so you went there at what, 16, 17?
Yeah, 16, straight from school, straight to there. Managed to do 3 years there, so I think I'll have been 18, 19-year-old.
Right.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do.
So what did you do?
So I remember someone from Darlington Football Club coming in, Football in the Community it was called, and they used to go around the schools and deliver coaching.
I remember.
And they didn't have enough coaches, so a bloke called Kevin Stonehouse came.
Right.
And he's passed away now, bless him. He was a massive inspiration on my life, an ex-footballer. He came and he said, "Does anyone fancy coaching in here?" So I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll give it a go." So I remember like volunteering for Stoney. There he is, with his stuff on. I remember volunteering for Stoney, and the first thing he done was just picked us up, took us to West Park School, I think. It just opened, dropped us off with a bag of balls, corns and some bibs. It was like, "There you go, son, off you pop." And like, it was another coach helping us out, but it was like, I think that's the best way to learn, just getting chucked in, be nervous, because I think that's when you're at your best, when you're a little bit nervous and overthinking.
So hang on, just you were literally, you'd never coached before.
I'd done a bit of coaching at college and tried to do like my level 1 coaching qualification, but you could pull Joe Bloggs off the street and they'd be able to pass that back in the day, do you know what I mean?
So you dropped off with this bunch of kids that were doing PE?
PE, yeah, just...
Bag of balls, pack of bibs.
Yeah.
Coach them.
Off you pop, yeah.
Right.
And that was it. And then I loved it. I can remember like every second of it and got a bit of good feedback, and then that was it from there. That's what I wanted to be. Wanted to be a football coach, but with that came its own challenges because there wasn't a full-time position, so I was a little bit of part-time work here and there. I think I worked for Anglian Windows up Buckton Yard, where you had to cold call people and stuff like that while being a coach still. So I was like in and out. I worked with my dad at Capita on the just sorting files at Capita. So it took me a bit of time to realise that coaching was what I wanted to do, and I just flitted between a couple of jobs really just to keep doing what I was doing.
Sorry, you mentioned your dad a couple of times.
Yeah.
Is your dad called James?
No.
Tony's
called.
Tony. No, I worked with a guy once years ago. He was James Browne. I just thought, was that him?
Is it Archie? His nickname Archie?
I can't remember. But I remember he was always like, when I worked with him, he was always quite... never asked him, obviously, but I just, looking back, just you said like military and stuff, he was quite strict, this guy.
I know who it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he was like kind of like my superior, I think.
Yeah.
Well, certainly he acted like he was. We were at Argos years ago.
Yeah, that is Archie.
Is that Archie? Is that his name, Archie?
Yeah.
I just remember his name, James, and I remember, I'm sure he had an accent, I'm sure it was a Brummie. Maybe I'm making it up. But oh mate, he used to bitch me. He used to proper like. Obviously, I was a little scallywag. Do you know what I mean? Working part time, turning up late. You know, he must have thought, you little knob. You know, and he used to absolutely bitch me. Like, well, I deserved it. Like, you know, I was, you know, born idle. But I liked him. But so anyway, all right. So we've decided we're going to coach.
We're going to coach.
What we're going to do. What was the next step then? So you've this bless him, this chap, what's his name again?
Yeah, Kevin Stonehouse.
Kevin Stonehouse has got you in.
He's got us in. I'm working for football and community. But only part time really. And this is where sort of my affiliation with sort of Darlington Football Club first started, because I used to work on match days, so people used to see me about with the strip, like the kit on and that. And then from there was an initiative called Playing for Success.
Playing for Success.
And what they did was, nationally in the country, at different sports venues or grounds or whatever it was, built classrooms. So we had a classroom at Darlington Stadium called the Understand Centre, and I became like a teaching assistant in this Understand Centre.
What did this thing do?
So I want to say it's similar to sort of what I do now. So sort of not the underachievers, but the people who were probably like me in school who just needed that little bit of redirection probably. We'd take them after school and bring them to the football stadium.
Right.
And we'd do maths, English and key skills through sport. So say if we were going to do maths, it might be like, look at the league table. Can you find the mean, median and mode in the league table? And some of the footballers would come in, and the footballers would come in, and they'd have to interview them, so they'd have to write their own like blurb or write their own questions. Or it was just like a 10-week cycle of that, really.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
I've never thought about doing it that way.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, making it more interesting for them. Because maths is boring, right? You know, school is boring. Like young minds, I can imagine. You know, well, I was one once. It's difficult to, certainly in my day, in a maths class, it was some dusty old fart, you know what I mean? Writing things on a chalkboard. Like, I don't care about Pythagoras. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I did like football.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest.
It was great because we used to go to school and pick them up. We used to be full every week, and it was their own time. They didn't get nothing for it, but the experience they got, because it was at the stadium, they got to go to a game. Yeah. They got to interview players.
So it wasn't forced upon them or now.
No, it was
optional.
It was optional, like an after-school club sort of thing, and
it was funding it. The council.
It was a national thing, yeah, like the local government. And they were all over the country, and mostly at football stadiums. But I know there were at some cricket venues, and I think there was one at the National Cycling Centre and stuff like that. So it was a national thing with hundreds of sites across the country, and it really engaged the kids, really. But then obviously the funding stopped, as it normally does.
Like these things do,
And then what happened was the person who was my boss there was also my science teacher at school, which is quite weird.
Really?
He's still a pal of mine now, he's a sound bloke, to be fair.
Did you become pals with your science teacher?
Yeah. And then he opened a gym at the football stadium.
Right.
So I became a personal trainer, done my level 3 personal training and worked in his gym. So I had 3 jobs coming from the football stadium. I had my coaching, I had the Understand Centre, and I had the gym.
You had 3 jobs at the same place.
3
basically.
jobs at the same place, yeah.
Mad.
Which was.
Did you have 3 different pays coming into your bank? Like 3? How did it work?
Yeah, so I like 12 or 16 hours at
one and
then, so
you must have got butchered on tax.
Yeah, the tax man was trying to be fair, I think. I hope he's not watching. No, it was tough to sort out, but listen, I enjoyed it. Again, me all over. Like, don't like to be in one place, so it suited me.
You know what I'm learning here, Deano, so far, and I admire this already. Like, you set off and did stuff that you were passionate about.
Yeah.
That's what's clear. Like, so how old are we here in this story-ish, when this is going on? You got these 3 jobs at the stadium. Ish.
I've probably done that for about 3-year period, so I'll be like 20, 21.
2021. But like at this early age, you've done what you wanted. Not what you want. You want to be a footballer, obviously play for England.
Yeah.
But your passion is what you've gone into. You're doing stuff that you want to do, sort of thing.
I was still enjoying myself, and I think that's key in everything that you do. You've got to try and be happy. Like the conversation we had with you before, like, you've got to find something that makes you happy, and sometimes that's not a long-term thing.
No.
And I just think if you're happy in something, you'll try better. You'll try harder at it, or you'll get a better person of yourself if you're happy doing something. So I remember when I got the call and I lost all 3 jobs, and it was just like.
So these 3 jobs, like, who was like the person who, like, there must have been like one person that ran all this stuff.
So it was all different people, but really, because it was at the football club. Like, I'm a massive Darlington fan, by the way, at this age.
Right.
Like, I know I was on about Man United and stuff like that, but I've probably been to 94 different football league grounds watching Darlow. I've been on a minibus to Torquay for 11 hours. I've flew to Exeter. I've been to Gillingham on a Tuesday night where there was only like 12 fans there and it was pissing down rain. Do you know what I mean? So, and we're talking in the conference and
on a school night.
Yeah, and like. Rubbish they were at the time, but I loved it. So I was sort of living my dream because I was working at the football club, but not as a footballer, but doing all these jobs, and then they went bust. So you'll remember the club going bust, and it was like that was sort of a snap of the fingers, really, and not unemployed, but what are you going to do now? And that's when one of my pals said, "Well, why don't we just go to America to coach?" And
just go to America, just like that.
That was it, yeah. So I said, yeah, no bother. And then,
no bother.
Then 3 months later, I was in California. So
wow, California.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, it was amazing.
So what was it? It was like, well, I mean, of course it was. It was a visa process.
Yeah. So what happens is there's loads of companies now in America, and I work for UK International Soccer, and what they do is they come to England and. They're an English company, but obviously they work out in America.
And what's their role? What's their like mission? What
so
they're
probably
doing?
Similar to what football in the community was, just coach the local school kids or the local soccer clubs, or just do like holiday camps sort of thing.
Because soccer, I mean, it's getting bigger now, but then it wasn't as big as it is here, right?
So I went over a little bit naive, and I thought like, there's no one going to play. And I think even then it was like the most played sport. Like,
really?
Yeah, like I couldn't believe it. Like the amount of women that played back in the day compared to what they did over here, absolutely blew me away. But me mate, he's called Foxy, who won't mind me name dropping him. He said, he'd done it the year before, so he said, come out, it's unbelievable, mate. We'll do this, we'll do that. So I said, yeah, no bother. So we sorted it all out.
So it's just a spell you're doing, right?
So I did 9 months. Yeah,
9 months.
I did 9 months.
So it's like. Because like the initial visa, like the tourist visa, is only 3 months, right?
Yeah, so you have to get a working visa, yeah.
Right, and that's for like a year.
Yeah, so you can go out for a year, I think, and you've got to come back. And what happens is, so what happened with me was, Foxy sorted most of it out, and I just sort of gave him the money. Typical me, like, just whatever. Yeah, I sort it out, mate. I'll do it. I'll turn up. Like,
tell us when we're flying.
Zero preparation. I remember we got the mega bus from Scotch Corner to Euston, I think it was. It felt like I was on this bus for ages. No word of a lie as well. The biggest man I've ever seen in my life got on this bus, and there was just a seat next to me, and I was like, I know you're going to sit next to me. And like we were both like cuddling each other all the way to London. I was like, you couldn't write that. And obviously the megabus is like, if ever you've been on it, they get as many people as you can.
Literally sardined.
And then I just remember it being the worst trip ever. Then obviously the flight must have been like 20 hours or something, or 17 hours. But we flew to Vegas, which was a really bad idea. Cheap flights, but we decided we'll fly to Vegas, we'll have a couple of nights in Vegas. And then,
because it'd be rude not to, right? It'd be rude not to.
And then I'm just loving life. I think I got a little bit of redundancy play from the understand centre, so I think I got like 800 quid or something. So I thought, here we go. And we flew into Vegas, and then another lad was working out there from Darlington who I went to college with.
At Vegas?
I got there first night, me and Foxy had gone out for a couple of drinks, and I remember going on Facebook and having a look, and my mate Jinxie's there.
Huh.
So I'm like, bloody hell, he's in Vegas. So I just dropped him a message. He was like, oh yeah, sound. He's like, we're going out tomorrow night, but we're going to a VIP party at the top of Mandalay Bay. He's like, come with us.
Mandalay Bay's a big casino out
there,
there,
like
right?
One of the bigger ones back in the day. Right. So I was like, yeah, no bother. He's like, meet us here, we'll all get taxis there. So we all get taxis to the bottom. I've turned up, and I had a pair of like £3 Primark plimsolls, like Toms.
Yeah. Toms, yeah.
I had a pair of like rolled up jeans to my knees because it was like 40 degrees.
Because you're on your holidays.
And I had like a yellow Adidas polo shirt, and I've turned up, right? Jinxie and all of his coaches have all got like ties on, shirt and ties. and they're telling the lads on the door that they play for Arsenal. So I'm like, here's me, scruff bag here with like, I don't know, a pair of Ivousu fake jeans on or something. And a pair of Toms on and a yellow, like lemon yellow Adidas t-shirt on.
Oh.
And the lads are like looking at us up and down. So anyway, we go at the top of this Mandalay Bay thing, and Jinxie's saying, "What you doing with yourself?" And I'm like, "Oh, not really, mate. I've lost all my jobs." He's like, "Well, when we go home, let's start our own coaching company." So I was like, "Right."
Just like drink talk.
A couple of Grey Gooses in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no bother, mate. We'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
sound you, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, I woke up the next day, looked at my emails, had an email saying that I was supposed to be in San Francisco and not LA, where I'd got my flight to on that day. So I nearly got the sack straight away. Like, this is typical Deano Browne, just laid back.
Hang on.
That's a canny mess up, that, like.
San Francisco to LA.
Yeah, it's like 9 hours in the car.
Yeah. But hang on. Like, you must have looked, no?
Nah, like I said before, I just let Foxy sort it. So I just thought, I've got a few emails through, I've got the documents that I needed. And then his site where he was going, everyone went to like a college where all the dorms were, and you did like a 3-day coaching seminar, so you understood how you wanted to coach. His site was LA, so I just automatically thought, well, that's my site as well. But then in my email, when I woke up the next day, I've looked, we're looking forward to seeing you at San Francisco Airport at this time, and I'm thinking...
You think they made a mistake here?
Yeah, so I remember ringing the guy and then coming up on thingy and saying, "This is a sackable offence, like, we've got no space for you in LA. I want to send you home." It's me rough as you like, in the middle of Vegas the next day, thinking,
like so a scene from The Hangover.
Yeah, so anyway, they managed to sort something out, and I ended up going to LA. And
you went to San Francisco?
I went to LA.
And he went to San Francisco? Oh, no, you mean you...
We both went to LA.
I've got it. They got you in.
Yeah, they got us in and shuffled somebody else about down to LA, San Francisco. I'm sorry about whoever that is who got a last-minute call.
Somebody somewhere doesn't know you, but hates you. You know what I mean?
But what they did was suited me down to the ground. So you do this 3-day coaching seminar over there, and then they put you in this big auditorium, you know, like on the telly where the lecturer stands at the front.
And it goes up in a slant.
It goes up. So we're all sat in one of them. And the owner of the business is just at the front with a bingo thing. So your name's attached to a bingo ball. So
literally
like,
tombola people.
Yeah. So he's like, right, number 21, Deano Browne, bang, da-da-da-da. Number 100 and whatever, Johnny whatever, da-da-da. And then, right, your cluster number whatever, and you're going to... It's like a quiz show. It was like, brilliant.
Hang on. So like they were like spread. Oh, I suppose LA is a big place. So there's like different places in LA.
Yeah, so they were huge all over LA, all the little towns, all the little suburbs, and they'd send these clusters out to wherever you wanted to be. And the summer part, you travel round bits, but this is where I think they got me back. They sent us to San Fran.
Oh.
So like that's where they got us back. So I had to drive 9 hours on that night, but it was brilliant. And I still speak to the 2 lads now on that day. So like you're standing up in this seminar with one lad was from Cardiff and one lad was from London, and then me from Darlow.
So you didn't stay with your mate that you went with then?
Nah, he went off to Utah or something, and somewhere else in America. So it was like, and that's a big thing. I went on one holiday with my parents. We went to Torremolinos when I was about 14. So it was like the first time I'd been away from home.
Yeah.
I'd lived by myself a little bit with a couple of pals, but always found my way back home. Sort of like spend 9 months away and have it happen like that was brilliant. But the way they do it's great. You live with a family, a different family each week. So families say, right, I'll put you up.
Mate, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like Mormon missionaries. That's what they sound like, don't they? Like, are you sure, like, were they Mormons or something?
No, I don't.
Were they telling you, were they sending you off with Bibles and that?
But
like,
you know why it was meant? Because they're all, like, contested with each other to look after you. So, like, you got spoilt rotten. And I'm meeting a family anyway. I'm meeting a family in November who are coming over to London.
There?
So I'm going to go down, and they were brilliant with me. The first house that I stayed at.
Well, you know, they're all, you know, end of the day, the soccer moms, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, so we all know, like, the stereotype of the soccer mom, yeah.
No, it was honest. It was what an experience. And again, talking about how being able to be social and being laid back and get on with anyone, really, that suited me. And that's probably, again, made me who I am today, really.
So when you were going off to these, like, doing your Mormon missionary, basically, your footballing Mormon missionary, obviously you cast out, right, to some whatever, this town in the middle of here. You've gone on your own. You've knocked on the door.
Yeah, you turn up,
this is where you're sleeping, this is where you're staying. Do you want some scran? This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with your time? Like, okay, so you're doing your coaching during the day, but like, what do you do at night? You just sit in the room and be like, oh, what do you like?
Yeah, you go out, you go for meals. Sometimes the families would like put stuff on for you. You go and do stuff. So
you just join their family.
Yeah, it's sort of like they try to show you about. But the summer was weird because you'd only spend like maybe 4 days. You do a 4-day camp, maybe or a 5-day camp. So you'd only spend that amount of time in one area, and then you'd get an email on the Thursday night to say, right, your next camp starts on Monday at blah, blah, blah. Then you'd get an address, and you'd have to travel wherever it was to this thingy. So you were just getting like bounded about California, really.
Do you have a car in that?
Yeah, you had a car, a fuel card, you got paid, so it was like, do whatever you want. So the experiences I had
sounds brilliant.
Were unreal. And then after that 6-7 weeks, you got placed in a certain area. And I got placed in like a beautiful little town called San Rafael, which is like 10 miles outside San Francisco. And you're looking after their sort of community football teams. They've obviously bought into our coaching company, and you help coach their coaches and help coach their teams. And I stayed there for about 14 weeks, some at 20 weeks, and stayed with different families again. Some families you got on with would ask for you to go back and blah, blah, blah. So
sounds brilliant.
I was going over the Golden Gate Bridge to work every day, like a lad from Darlow, like going over the Golden Gate Bridge. It was mental.
I can imagine, like, that must have felt awesome.
Yeah,
like some of those mornings when the sun's coming up and you're driving thinking, hang on a minute, I'm in California, I'm getting paid, I'm traveling, I'm playing football. Basically, it's football related.
Yeah.
Look at like this is the pinnacle. Like,
but I remember like thinking one day, like one of the families just took us on like a thing that you can do for free, and it was just random stuff like going up the side of like the biggest building in San Francisco, but the lift's on the outside of the building.
ooh.
So you go up and you can go at the top and you can just see right the way out over us. And I'm thinking. And I'm a bit of a stickler for like sunsets and views and stuff like that. So it was spot on for me. And but meeting people who were different from different ethnicities, different backgrounds. And San Rafael was a wonderful place because all the schools were the highest rated schools in that area. Really? So everybody wanted to move there and go to these schools. So it was just an unbelievable place. And to spend that amount of time there that I did was absolutely spot on, really.
Sounds amazing. It does. It truly sounds amazing.
And then at the end of it, I think in 2 days, I went to watch LA Galaxy. I went to a Chris Brown concert. Wow. It was just like little things that I thought I'd never be able to do. Yeah. Me and my pal from Darlow had done all this, and then went to Vegas and flew on.
Wow, what an experience! That was some 9 months.
So from going from a negative of losing what you love, like 3 different jobs, the football club that you felt you were a part of, to having another experience like that was just brilliant, really.
Bit of a roller coaster, that, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, I have heard of these before, but you're the first person that's really like explained the insides out of it. I've just heard I've known people have said, oh, he's gone to America to play football, like not professional, but I never knew what it was.
No. So I never played, just coached, but some people can go out and go to college there. So like the college that I did, you can do that in America.
Can you?
But I just went out and just worked for a company out there, and it was mint. And then I remember getting back, having an inbox off Jinxie from the top of Mandalay Bay. He'd started specifically sport. So
this is when you landed back?
Landed back. He's like, he said we're going to start a coaching business, mate. Well, I've bought this name and we've got meetings in these schools.
What?
So I landed back and straight into my own sports coaching business.
Right. Literally. So, okay, you're back. And what's it called again? What was it called?
For some reason, he called it specifically sport, and I couldn't never spell specifically. So
specifically,
can't even say it. Never mind say it. Never mind spell it
with the lisp. Specifically sport. Specifically sport.
It won't be there anymore. I hope.
Yeah, it's been and gone, right?
Yeah, it's been and gone now.
So what? So okay. So where are we now? Do you know? How old are we now? Are we mid-20s?
Yeah, 24, 25.
We're 24. We've landed back. We've been an experience of a lifetime, and we've come back and found out we're kind of a partner in a business, an entrepreneur, just like that.
Yeah.
And you've got meetings booked in schools to do a similar thing, coach kids, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that was pretty, you were now tried and tested at this.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing now.
Yeah,
You're a bit of a spurt, a bit of an expert now.
Yeah.
So you're in the schools around the local area, like stuff like
just
that.
around the local area, and I remember we bought a Rover 25.
Beauty.
Bought one of them on a credit card to get about to the schools and that. Bought some like footies, like knockoff footies, and some bibs and some cones, and we give it a good go, to be fair, but we were 24, 25-year-old. I don't care like how spontaneous I want to be or how confident I am coming back from America. It's hard to run your own business. No one tells you how to do accounts and just make sure the tax man doesn't come over here and banking and all that. Like, no one tells you how to do that. So
no.
It was tough, but listen, I learned a lot from it. It was good.
Yeah, when that bill comes through, it certainly changes your weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think we were paying ourselves like 25 quid, because we were struggling. We only had 1, 2, 3 schools. We were trying to do our own like courses to try and get, but we were competing with people who were established. It was just.
Were you making, when you were doing specifically sport, were you, and the taxman won't be watching this, were you making enough to make it your full-time jobs?
No.
No,
it's a short-term answer.
So you must have been like hustling as well.
Yeah, just getting by, like
bits and pieces,
doing like one-to-one coaching sessions.
But all that.
My mum was really helpful. My mum and dad never like let us down. They work so hard. So I needed 20 quid. My mum would sort us out with 20 quid. I was spoilt when it come to that. Do you know what I mean? I had a lot of support. But we ended up signing up to a scheme where we got 12 apprentices.
Okay.
And you got paid to look after the apprentices. So that was sort of a bit of a help. But then trying to get the apprentices through their coaching qualification when you didn't have enough schools was difficult.
Yeah, of course.
So when that came to an end, sort of specifically sport came to an end, we used to rent a cupboard. And it was like literally a cupboard in Firthmoor Community Centre was our office.
Right.
And we probably had 4 or 5 schools a week, and it just wasn't enough to get by. And you know yourself, you can try something, and if it doesn't work, sometimes you just got to see it off. But we got quite lucky. We were coaching in a school, and then Martin Gray, who was the Darlington manager at the time, he just got the Darlington job. Darlington became a thing again. Dropped down to the Northern League. Martin Gray got the job, and me and Jinxie were coaching at Corporation Road School. And he was going in to meet the head teacher, Peter King was at the time. And he asked who we were outside. And Pete said, look, these lads are really good. They've started their own business. They're really enthusiastic, but I just don't think they've got any business savvy. And he was spot on, to be fair. Like, honest.
Savage.
Honest and correct.
Nice lads, but clueless.
Yeah. And I remember getting a phone call off Martin saying, I want to meet you outside the Imperial Cafe in town.
Oh, yeah.
Just for a chat.
And at this time, he's the manager of Darlington.
He's the manager of Darlington.
So what are you thinking at this moment? I'm getting signed.
I'm thinking he's a bit of a prick, if I'm honest, because he used to coach us a bit at college, and he was like aggressive, like, and I've been shouting at me. And for people who know me, if you shout at me or sham me, like, I've got no time for you.
No.
So the only experiences I had of Martin was he was like hard work.
Right.
So we just went there and went and met him. And for a coffee, and the Imperial Cafe's nice, isn't it? You go for a coffee.
I still can't believe this technically all stemmed from the top of Mandalay Bay.
I know, yeah.
After a few Grey Gooses, you do this whole stint over in America, you come back, and then it's like, right.
There's a picture on my Facebook, and I'll have to find it and send you it, of me in like the yellow Adidas thing.
You've got the picture?
Yeah, like,
mate, you have to send it.
I'll find it somewhere.
We'll put this on the screen.
Yeah. And that was the night that specifically. So anyway, we met Martin, and he said, right, I'm starting my own coaching company in the town. You either join us or go against us.
Oof.
So I was like, and he was like, how much are you paying yourselves at the minute? And I'm thinking, me and Jinxie, I think we were paying ourselves like 25 quid at the time. I was like, 100 quid, mate.
Yeah.
He was like, well, come work for me for 175. I was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, I realised how much Martin's done for us, and we'll go on to this a little bit later on, but he had what I didn't, and we've sort of like, I've took some of his skills, and that's made me a better person. So
when you say he had what you didn't, what was that?
Just like that little bit of ruthlessness, that get up and go, up at 4, like
bit
crack
savage.
a door and wants to outdo everybody all the time. He was an ex-professional footballer, and he wouldn't mind me saying, he was only probably a professional because he worked harder than everybody else.
Bit of a David Goggins, is he?
Yeah, he wasn't like...
Stay hard.
Yeah, he wasn't technical gifted, but he worked harder than everybody else. And
well, not to sound cliche in that, but they say, effort.
Yeah.
Out trumps skill every time. They say, hardest workers. To be honest, the same with some professional footballers. Like, you get the impression. I mean, look, I'm sure they're very, very good, and certainly better than any of us. But like, how good was Phil Jones? You know what I mean? Like, some of you think he's got there just through summit. It's not through he's not megging people. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So. I bet there are. I bet there's some real professional footballers in all the leagues in all the countries that are just grinders, just proper grinders, not particularly talented.
That's my birthday. That's my 30th. We went back.
You went back?
Yeah.
Was that good? You went back?
Yeah, it was that good. We went back. But so we went to work for Martin, and then he put me in charge of Darlington under-18s, which is like.
So Martin was doing pretty much all of the business side of it, really. It was his company.
Yeah, it was his company. He wanted to come into Darlington and go into schools and work in schools. So he sort of bought our company and took on the work that we had, and we continued doing that, but working for Martin, for the Martin Gray Football Academy. And then from there, things just snowballed. He put me in charge of Darlington under-18s football team, which is obviously, being a Darlington fan, is a bit of a dream of mine. I even got to manage the first team a couple of times, although they were only in the Northern League. Like some of the cup games and that, I managed to take charge of them, and that's where I got a passion for football management as well. And then when the under-18s, when they finished, Martin said, right, I'm going to go and put you into Norton and Stockton Ancients as a coach, which was like a Northern League football team.
Right.
So I said, yeah, no problem. And then my first game, the chairman sacked the manager and asked me to be the manager. At 25-year-old, I think it was.
And your first game?
So my first real game, I'd done pre-season with them. Obviously done some pre-season games, done a lot of the coaching. And the chairman didn't like what the manager had done, and he'd seen obviously something good in me. And it was the first game was in the FA Cup, like the preliminary round of the FA Cup. And they got beat off a team in the league below, so he sacked the manager then and asked me to be the manager. And I remember driving back down the A1 in my mum's Corsa, because I didn't have my own car. Trying to ring people as I'm driving, I'm a football manager. And at that time, I think I was the youngest football manager in England.
No way.
Yeah, a reporter told me that.
What?
At that level and above,
yeah.
At 25, I was the youngest.
So when you say manager, you mean full manager, not kind of manager?
No,
manager.
Manager, but the levels, step 8, I think, or I might be in step 7, I can't remember, I get them mixed up. So we're not talking Premier League or Division 3 or League 2 as it would be now.
Of course.
We're talking semi-professional, the lads get paid, blah, blah.
So what was your role? When you became the manager? Tell me some of I'll tell the viewers some of the...
Sign the players, take the coaching sessions, stand in the dugout at the side of the pitch, change the tactics,
right.
Do the team talks. And it was difficult, 25-year-old, some of the lads in the dressing room, 30, 32 experienced. I'd loads of managers before, and there's me, brand new.
Did you ever experience any? Because I'm just trying to put myself in the mentality of some of these people. Surely you must have encountered a bit of disrespect at times. Who's this guy telling us how to play? Surely.
And those people that know me, I'm laid back. I wouldn't say I'm soft, but I'll give people a chance. So I remember the first time. I remember who it is, and I remember where it was to this day. Challenging me in a dressing room in front of everybody.
Oh yeah. And
it's sink or swim. Fight or fly, do you know what I mean? And I remember hammering, get outside here now, not like me. But if I never, I'd have lost the dressing room at that time.
100%.
So I remember, we never had a fight, but I just got him out. I said, don't ever, talk to me like that. And,
did you? You snapped in?
Yeah, don't disrespect me in front of the lads. Yeah. If you're not happy, see me after.
Good for you, mate.
So yeah, little things like that. Step out and stand out, do you know what I mean? So,
did your ass fall out a little bit though?
Yeah, because he was probably harder than me at the time. So,
but you just okay.
Yeah,
you only live once, don't you?
That happens in life, doesn't it? Sometimes, and I got away with that one, so it was all right.
Never. Yeah. So I didn't think you'd say that, and that wasn't that. I knew there was stuff about management and stuff, but I didn't know it was to that extent. It's pretty awesome, and that's all stemmed from this Martin guy. Basically,
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, and he used to let us go in the changing rooms when he was managing, so I got to get the good bits off him. And then obviously, when I spoke about like Graham Jones in college, who's got a great CV now, and people like Dave Cowden, ex-professionals, I used to do like a little bit of coaching and a little bit of managing there in college, so I knew it was something that I was interested in, but I never for the life of me thought that it's something that I'd be able to do or pick up. And like,
well, you don't, do you? I mean, how would you get into football? I mean, I couldn't even. No. Coaching, like if you said, how'd you get into coaching for someone who's not in that world, I could think, okay, I kind of would maybe grasp it. I think you'd be better off if you were a footballer, but I can sort of kind of still make a path. But a manager, I wouldn't know how on earth to get to be a manager.
But what Martin was really good at is seeing like the good stuff in people and pushing them out of the comfort zone. So he made me do my UEFA B licence.
And what is that?
So it's just like a coaching accreditation.
Okay.
You get your B licence, your A licence, then you get a pro licence.
Right. And this was a what licence?
UEFA B.
Right.
So I'm like 2 from the top.
Right.
So I've done this UEFA B licence, but Martin's put us on the pro licence, and the pro licence is where all ex-pros do it. Right. So like Deano Browne from Gurney Peas is doing his UEFA B licence with people who've played 300 games in the Premier League.
Wow.
So I remember my first coaching session was I had to teach how to switch play, so like receive on your back foot and go out the other way, play out the other side. But the centre midfielder was Julio Arca, who played for Argentina with Messi.
Right.
So like I'm having to blow my whistle and say, Julio, stop there, mate. when you receive the ball, can you check your shoulders to make sure that there's no one there?
Imagine.
And then
just hang on, Julio. I'm just gonna teach you something here, mate. Do you know what I mean?
So and it was a bit surreal. I remember turning up on the day knowing that I'm going at this pro license, the B license with the pros, and then like Derek Geary, he played for Sheffield United, Julio Arca, there's Adam Bartlett, who's Newcastle's goalkeeper coach now. So all these lads, Russ Penn, who managed in the league, all these lads who have been ex-pros and have been around the game forever, and then and Deano Browne there.
That's what I was going to say. Getting into management 9 times out of 10, it's like ex-players.
Yeah,
like
you would think.
It's not very often you see someone go into management.
I didn't even play a Northern League game. I think I played 1 game for Darlington and Sunderland because I used to just go and watch the Harlow.
Isn't it true that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Mourinho not a footballer?
No, he was a translator for Bobby Robson.
That's it.
But he was all right. I thought.
Was he all right?
There was him and I think Arsene Wenger's another new one. He played, but not at like an unbelievable standard.
Yeah, just he could play football.
Yeah, but that's where it's hard. Like as you say, if you're a non-footballer, which I just loved football and could play it to a standard, but
just to put this into perspective for anyone, because my mum watches this, right, and she won't know them people we've just said. Yeah. But like, if you're listening, mum, right, or for anyone that doesn't quite get football as much as we do, that's kind of like Deano going into a boxing gym and someone like a retired Mike Tyson been there, and you sort of saying, right, I'm going to teach you how to box, mate. Yeah. That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah,
you know.
And again, it's a confidence thing. Like,
how did you do that? How did you stay confident? Surely you must have thought, I'm an imposter here.
I've got the video. Me and a lad called Curtis, who I still know. They paired you up on the first day, and I remember being so nervous. You put a microphone on as well, and your voice gets like fired out to people like who were like writing it all down and that. And like, I remember just being so nervous because like I felt, and then you have to join in the sessions. So like you're coaching one, and then you'll have to join in for the other lads to coach them, and it's like you join in the sessions and trying to fire the ball about and not look like an idiot in front of these ex-pros. So, but unbelievable learning experience. Like,
I bet.
And then to pass at the end, because now you can't really fail.
No.
You just get like people come to view you, and you could be on the B licence for ages. Right. I was like the last cohort where you take a coaching session and you pass or fail.
So you could have failed?
Yeah, I could have failed it, but I passed it, to be fair, and I was quite confident when I feel as though this might sound arrogant, but I think I'm an alright coach, you know what I mean?
Well, you must be, mate.
Yeah,
you know, you can only, the first time you might be lucky, but like to progress where you've got to there, like you must have summit.
Yeah.
Like you must have more than summit as well. You must be half decent.
If not, I'm good at pretending. One of the two.
It's one of the two, yeah. You're the world's best blag, yeah. Wow, so, okay. So we've got ourselves here and you passed it.
Passed my B licence, yeah, so that should be in good, like put me in good stead for like my managing career really in football. Mm-hmm. Norton and Stockton went bust the next season, nothing I could do, just ran out of money. The one fella, the chairman, great, unbelievable guy, just was sick of putting his own money in, really. And at that level, if you don't have money, you can't really compete, if I'm honest. Same as probably the Premier League.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same right the way down. So we were finding it hard to compete. I think we were about 6th in the league. We got my first season, we got relegated. I won't leave that out. I'm not bothered. Because we just didn't have the budget to compete, but we did really well. Finished 3rd bottom or 2nd bottom, but that wasn't enough. And then the next year we thought we'll have a bit of a go, but we didn't get sponsors in, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. And then we liquidated as a football club, so that was me without a job, like a football managing job. And then I went to Aycliffe, which was good.
Aycliffe football team?
Aycliffe Football Club, yeah. So I was the manager of them, joint manager with me mate Danny.
Are these full-time jobs now? You get
paid?
part-time.
You get you get your expensive on the side, but I'm still working for Martin.
Still working for Martin.
So during the day I'm travelling up and down the North East, doing football academies after schools and coaching in schools and stuff like that. So I'm still doing that. But
it's been a fair bit to juggle. But again, it's showing a lot of people would have just sat back and just took the job, but you've obviously got, there's obviously a fire inside you because you must love what you do as well as the managing side of it. You must be, because a lot of people wouldn't pursue like that.
No, and
like stood in them cold, like you say, the cold, rainy, pissing down rain February nights and. Oh God! Like watching your team getting thumped by someone and think, "What am I doing here?"
Something to do with I like the pressure. Like you're in a dressing room, you stood in front of all the lads, and they're like doting on you, and it's on you. Whether like, can you get them motivated when things aren't going your way? Like I like that.
Yeah.
And I was saying before that if you read my managerial CV, it could potentially be the worst one in the country. I've got like a liquidation, a relegation. I've been sacked. But. I think, and this might sound a bit pitiful, but I feel like I've been unlucky because everyone you speak to will say that I'm all right at what I do. So for me, even up to this day, I got the sack from the Farnaby Football Club last Christmas just gone. I felt really hard done by because I felt as though I'd done a good job. Mm. And there was a fire at the club. I don't know if you're saying about the girls scenario. I was getting inboxes from people. I know I'm jumping forward a bit here, but I was getting inboxes from people in Australia calling me sexist because I wouldn't pay for the girls' team to stay and all this. Oh, me centre forward punched someone on a night out and killed him when I was the manager. And it sounds horrible because he's killed someone, but he was a sound lad. Just one of them made a mistake. That he'll regret for the rest of his life. So I had a lot of things to deal with that and just didn't go the way we go. But that's football, I'm afraid. It happens at the top level and it happened at our level. So
listen, if you look at every manager's CV except Pep Guardiola and a select few, what you'll see is relegated, sacked, relegated, sacked. That's most very wealthy managers as well. That's a crack.
I wish that was the case here. It's not, but yeah, it was it is what it is, and regard football management, do I want to get back into it? You don't realise what you do in it until you're out of it. On the phone every night of the week, arranging training, speaking to other players, stopping your players from going. You're on the phone all the time, so it's a full-time job anyway. But would I get back into it? Yeah, because like I said before, I like the chew, I like the pressure, like the chew. Yeah, I like being out and about and meeting new people.
You must like the cold winter nights and all.
Yeah, well. I was going home smelling like a wet dog in my dreads. It was a nightmare. Drying my hair at 11:30 at night.
We just want to point this out, but this is the club statement from Thornaby. And by the looks of it, a few people weren't too happy to see you go,
Nah, some of my pals then, to be fair. But no,
cheers, boys.
Yeah. I think it was a bit of a shock, but like I say, who knows? One thing that pissed me off for that a little bit was the way it happened. I just got a phone call the day after a defeat, and I felt as though I'd put my heart and soul into that club. It had been relegated. It had no players. It had no clubhouse. Could have been set on fire. And then I was working for free at times. I was doing raffles and selling shirts that I had and doing all sorts to try and get the club back to where it was. And then as soon as I had the chance, I felt as though they got rid of me. But look, I think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, in my opinion.
Of course it does. But no, it sounds like you were doing, you were doing your job and more, trying to. And it is a shame, innit? Because they probably won't find someone that'll go to that extra length.
No,
you know. Well, they might. You never know. But yeah, look, I wouldn't even think about it, mate. For me, I'm not a manager. And I don't know too much about it. But what I do know is, I think being sacked, I think it is part of managing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm comfortable, and like if I deserve to be sacked, I'd be sound. And in their eye, I did. So I'm all right with it. I'm not a man who hates people or frowns upon things. Like,
no,
there's some good people at that football club, some good fans, some good lads, and I wouldn't do anything differently. And I think that's where you feel like you've done something right if you wouldn't change anything.
So I think we have jumped right forward on the timeline, haven't we?
Forward,
So where were we in this timeline?
Like Norton, me being a manager there, then we went to Aycliffe, who were in a league above.
Right.
They were in a bit of turmoil as well. I always seem to get the clubs that are in turmoil, like Sam Allardyce, really. And they had no players. They literally had 2 players when me and Dan went in, because one manager left and took all of his players. So we had to try and get 15 players all together within a week. And then we done really well. We ended up finishing, I think, 7th or 8th in the league.
You know the players that play for these clubs, you know the one you're talking about now, are they getting paid or not as well?
Yeah, they get paid, but not much.
No, just outside of work money sort of thing.
Yeah, like pocket money, like expenses, petrol money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then from there, I stayed there for 3 seasons, I think. Probably got a little bit stale, which is what we'll probably go on to. It's probably me in a nutshell. Like, and this is probably what going back to Martin, what's he's instilled in us. Like, it's quite easy for me not to get bored, but just when things are easy, I find it hard to get motivated. That's obviously an honest assessment of myself, and that's something that I work on every day.
And it's 99% of people.
Yeah.
It's 99% of people. You look, David Goggins is 1 in a million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's human nature. If things are easy, you will become complacent in that. Like, you will start to relax.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing, to stay like you're hungry all the time.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, who was it used to say, that boxer, it's hard to get up and run at 4 a.m. in silk pajamas.
Yeah.
Like, of course it is. If you've got what you want, you've hustled your way to get to what you want, and you've got it, well, what are you hustling for? Because you've got it. But that hustle got you there.
Yeah.
And if you take that away, then you know what I mean? Then it's going to be taken away.
Yeah.
It is hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard.
Proper mind F, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Proper mind F.
But then, like, you have a little bit of time out of the game, and that just fuels a fire again.
Yeah.
And then you go again. And I went to work with a mate at Crook, and we were really successful. Obviously, the stuff I was doing with Martin in the background with the football academy, we were getting some good players through. So we were putting some of them into our teams, and we were becoming successful through that because they were good players, and I had that relationship with them. Do you know what I mean?
So it's Martin's Academy, it's all like youths?
Yeah,
it's all
youths. Like what I did at college is exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
So I went from being on the college course at Darlington College to being a coach on the college course
for
at
the
Darlington
college course. Right, okay, I get it.
It was quite nice that I went back to sort of my roots and done that, really.
So was Martin working with Darlington College?
Yeah,
right.
We went with Darlington College. We still do it to this day. We still do the college.
So while all this managerial stuff's going on, place to place and this, Aycliffe, Crook, all this, the Martin job is the staple. Martin job's the thing that's there.
9 to 5.
That's the day job.
That's me, 9 to 5.
That's the day job.
Out coaching and
all right. So did that come to an end, or is that still happening now?
The 9 to 5?
Yeah, the Martin stuff.
So it still happens now.
Right.
So we still have the Martin Gray Football Academy, but we sort of stumbled upon Future Pathways, which is what I'm the manager of now.
What is Future Pathways?
So Future Pathways is an alternative education provision. So we provide education to young people who can't be in mainstream school or like have learning disabilities or stuff like that.
Okay.
But
so is this an outside of school thing, or is this an in-school hour thing? Okay.
In school.
So a full-time thing?
Full-time thing, yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the methods, what does it do that's different from a school?
So just learning in different ways, really, and alternate ways, what it says on the tin. So similar to what we was talking about the Understand Centre, really, but you just got to think outside the box. A lot of the kids I work with don't like the school environment.
You did?
Yeah, but school, when we went to school, it's almost no different to what it is now. And if you look at the state of the world, social media, and how easy it is to access things now, then there's been no change. I think young people really, really struggle. So we just try and teach people and give people skills to what they need if they're not going to be an educate, if you get what I mean. If they're not going to be able to cope in mainstream school or go on and get GCSEs, or it's not A, B's and C's now, it's 6, 7, 8 or whatever it is. We try and give them the social skills, because that's what I got, how I'm getting to where I am now in life, and just try and give them other skill sets that they might be able to, more hands-on stuff, please and thank yous, things that they might not potentially get at home. And as I say, we stumbled across it, and it was something that I needed, to be fair, because I got at Aycliffe as a football manager, it was creeping into my 9 till 5. So going into schools coaching, I could do it with my eyes closed. It was easy. Like, I had every session. Like, kids loved it, loved me. I could switch a switch when I turned up and be that good coach, but I was just getting nothing from it. It was like a dead end. I couldn't see where, not my fame and fortune, but I couldn't see where I was gonna go and progress. And then I know you had pictures up there a minute ago of us in Vegas. We went to Vegas for my 30th. Unbelievable trip. Me and my brother, 2 or 3 of my best pals. What I wanted to do was reenact sort of America for me, like when I went and worked there.
Okay.
So like 6, 7 years later, we flew into Vegas like I did. Then we flew to San Fran, rented a car, and then drove through California.
Oh, wow.
Back to Vegas. Did that brilliant trip for my 30th. Then I remember landing and saying bye to the other lads, because a couple of them lived north, and then coming back home. I went to work the next day, and I walked into work. Lad behind reception, see me, went white as a ghost. How you doing, mate? Morning. As I normally would, like walking through reception.
So just so for the viewers, which work was this?
At Martin's.
So this at Martin's. You walked in.
So our hub is Eastbourne Sports Complex.
Got you. Okay.
So that's where our offices were. So I walked in, said hello to the bloke on reception. He just looked at us as if I shouldn't have been there. Right, mate. He's like, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, God.
Come to work. Like, what do you mean? He's like, "Have you not heard?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, Craigsy, so your mate." He's like, "I reckon he's killed himself." And I was like, still to this day, it's sort of like surreal moment. You know, you get a bit of a sickening feeling. But I'm one of them where I just deal with it. Anything that gets chucked away, I just deal with it. So I remember going in the back and then got my phone, and then my mate was ringing us saying, "Have you heard from Stevie, blah, blah, blah?" And I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Well, his phone switched off. They found his car here." And then obviously the days passed by, and then we found out that was the case, and it was a bit of a kick to the balls, really.
Yeah, I bet.
So you come from the high, you've gone away with your mates, and then it's not funny, but the story is Aycliffe service station, the McDonald's there, we've probably passed the place where he's gone on the train tracks, bless him.
No, really?
So, and that was hard to take, because still to this day, I probably think about it every day and feel a bit guilty. I'm not a crier. I'm an emotional guy, but
You can't feel guilty, man.
no, it's not. But it's one of them where, and I'm sure all my pals, like, we probably don't talk about it as much. It's a man thing, isn't it? And felt quite lonely at that time, because I was probably with him 10 days beforehand at five-a-side and out on the drink, and everybody has their own problems, but probably we didn't. The worst part was you never had any inkling, like the loveliest, like funniest.
So you literally had no idea.
No idea. No one knew that he was in that place.
Well, it's funny, you know. I don't know what happened to him, but there is, you know, rumours circulating, and this might age badly. So if it does, I'm sorry. I'm just saying that as of today, when this was filmed, this was what the rumours were about the boxer. What's his name again? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's true or anything, but the you know, I've heard people say that potentially could be what it was.
Yeah, and it's awful,
and you could never tell.
No, and one of my good mate, like very like close mate, like one of my best pals, and like one. I remember the shoot. Like no one needs to bury one of the best mates at that age, especially like. And honestly, like brilliant family, like such a brilliant guy. Do you know?
How did you know him? How did you know Stephen?
He was in the year above me at school. Right. Played for the same Sunday League team for 10, 12 years or whatever it was. Like went out all the time, just like proper centre of the party, like proper top guy, and I know like all the lads won't mind me like talking about it. I hit everybody really hard, and like we're not. I wouldn't say we were a proper close knit friend group, like, but that sort of brought us together then. And I'm one where I just like to deal with it by myself. Like I just deal with it how you deal with it. But I know you said don't feel guilty, but I think anybody, and there'll be people listening who've been in the same situation, like you're always kind of wondering that if you dropped him a text here or asked him why he felt like he did, or you're all right, mate. Like, so that's why now I try to make sure if ever I get a sniff of someone feeling not like down, I'd always try and make sure I'd ask the question, because I don't want anyone to feel that way, and I don't want to probably feel I don't feel responsible, but you don't want to feel like you could have maybe done something that will help. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's wonderful that you do, and yeah, I mean, the same. I hear these stories through my life. You know, it's not the first time I've heard this story, like not this one, but stories like it.
Yeah.
And every time you do it, it does like you just get this feeling of like, you know, you must reach out to people, and like you feel guilty now. Like right now, I'm sitting thinking, I know friends that I haven't seen for ages, and I could have any day I could have just text them, "How you doing, mate?" That's all, 2 seconds, and I haven't done it. You know, and it does like, but again, the hustle and bustle of life, you know what it's like. It just gets on top of you, and you think, yeah, I'll text them later, and you don't. Yeah. You know, it's natural, but it's nice that you are.
Yeah, the thing, like a couple of my mates, Mikey especially, he's done. I think he's raised about $9,000 for Calm, which is Craigsy's. We call it like Craigsy's charity, because that's what his parents wanted him to do. I did a boxing. I don't know how to fight in my life, but I did like a white collar boxing event, and all that malarkey. But selfishly, which is horrible to say, that sort of kick-started me, like got me back in my groove, like made me find something inside us where I thought like I'd do something with yourself, like.
What, the passing of Steve?
Yeah, like seeing his dad stand in front of everybody and be proud and talk about like how Stevie was, and seeing his dad, you might have seen his dad like plods around Darlington every morning, must do like 10-12 mile well down, just walks, plods, keeps his mind right.
Really?
And that happened, and then my granddad died of dementia as well 6 months later.
Oh,
and my granddad was like a massive inspiration, got us into footy, used to pick us up from school, and I remember thinking, oh, granddad's coming for us. So like huge inspiration on my life, and to lose obviously a close friend, and then my granddad within sort of that time to dementia, which was horrible to see him like deteriorate. He was married to my nana for 60 years, and to see him forget her name and like ask me who I was heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? So I'd sort of, and like I said before, with negatives and horrible things that happen, you've got to try and come out of them strong, really. And obviously it was an emotional time, and it sort of gave me that little kickstart of what I'm going to do with my life going forward, and it sort of all fell into line, really.
So how old are you at this point, Deano, when all this is happening?
I'm 30 there.
Right,
like sort of like, I wouldn't say a midlife crisis, but like...
An early midlife crisis, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, how close together was it, the Stephen passing and your granddad?
I'd say about probably 6 to 8 months, I think.
Really that close?
Dementia's a bit of a numb time, so I can't really tell you, but I was one of them.
How were you handling it? You didn't like turn to drink and shit like that, no?
No, I was all right.
I
got with my partner who I'm with now, Laura, so...
Around that time,
like a year or so earlier, so she was a massive help, but like I've said before, I just try to get on with it. I felt a bit bad with my granddad because I didn't like to see him like that, so I'd only go like once every 2 weeks, and I've got the worst tattoo on my arm that says "Live without regret." But I try to sort of take that on board. But one thing I do sort of regret is not going to see my granddad a little bit more, especially at the start when he first went into the care home. Pardon me, like that was something where going back, I think I should have went a little bit more often. But I remember the last time I saw him, and his like eyes were sunk in his head, and he couldn't speak, didn't like. And he sort of like squeezed my finger, and I think he died maybe he's like 4 hours later or something. So my last memory of my granddad was probably like when he was at his worst, when I wish I'd have went like a little bit more when he was a little bit better. But
do you know, for what it's worth, been through pretty much the same thing as you there, and I bet there's, you know, countless people throughout the UK that have had a similar thing, and that's just normal.
Yeah,
that's just normal how it happens, and. You know, it isn't. There's no way anyone passes in your life and you don't have regrets. It's impossible. No, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. You're going to feel, I shoulda. It's just natural.
Yeah.
It's just natural process. And mate, some people don't go and see them at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's natural, and you know, I'm sure he wouldn't have thought that.
No, everyone says that. Same as like when I thought about Stevie and say I feel a bit of guilt probably every day at some point, but like you never know, like how you're supposed to know. So I'm strong as a friend group and as a family. Like we're strong people, and I think I'm a strong person. So I remember at Craigsy's funeral, I just broke down in tears, and like the lads were like, "Oh, I've never seen Deano like this," but it was just one of them. Like, and has it made us a stronger person? Yeah, but I'm not bothered because I have fond memories. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's key. Like if you try and remember the good times, and it's everything that you do, it's good.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so you had a bit of a chew of a year there.
Yeah,
a bit of a nightmare of a year that year.
But then,
sorry, I was just going to say, I'll let you finish what you were going to say, and then I'll come in.
No, I was going to move on. So
I was just going to say, you said before we started this that those two events in your life said changed your life.
Yeah, definitely.
How did it? Where did we go after this? Obviously, you went on to do charity stuff.
Yeah,
the boxing.
Yeah, so I try to put myself outside my comfort zone. Like certainly before those two events, I was comfortable all the time. Like I said, like apart from probably football management, but then I ended up getting comfortable. I've got that. Somehow I get away of just becoming confident and comfortable in what I'm doing. So I decided to do things that made me feel uncomfortable.
So that's where these things came from.
Yeah, so I'd done a white collar boxing thing. Like I say, I never had a fight in my life, but I had one of them in the Dolphin Centre in front of all my pals. Funny story was I'd trained hard for it, to be fair. My mate Mikey got married, and his cousin's Ben Marksby, who's a professional boxer now, was doing
beast as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing really well at the minute. He trained us for Mike's wedding just to lose a little bit of weight.
Right.
As we were there, he signed us up to a white collar, thinking I'd shit myself, not do it, but I'll do it. So I ended up doing it, and I got my mate to put a mix of a beach ball together and Gypsy Woman, and he mixed it together because I wanted like the best. So I was on last.
Right.
So they saved me to last. And then my mate the DJ put the CD and it wouldn't play. So there's me, like the most laid back man ever, but I got myself to a place where I was going to hurt this other lad.
Proper wired.
There was no way that I was going to lose.
Yeah.
I'd been waiting, I think 6 hours I'd been waiting. I got to be there too. I didn't box till like maybe 10, so it must have been longer. I was there for ages. And I remember like getting myself in the head and all that. And I remember, right, Damien, you're on, your music's coming, go and stand at the bottom of the thing. And I could see the DJ like listening for the... He was like, your music won't play, mate. I was like shadow boxing and that, trying to look dead hard. I was like, well, just put anything on, mate. I'm not arsed, just put anything on. I've been waiting here too long. Puts Destiny's Child, I'm a Survivor on. So here's me walking to the ring.
I'm a survivor.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's not a very apt song to play when I'm not just about to go into a boxing match. But yeah, like that, I was way out of my comfort zone, but got through it, enjoyed it, like threw myself into the training, and that was really, really good.
I might be someone that does that. Like I've seen it before. I know people that have done it. Like lad I work with here, you'd be the first to say he's not a fighter. Do you know what I mean? But he did it. And he went through with it. Yeah, he got filled in, but yeah, he enjoyed. You know, he did it. Yeah. I always think like I'd hate that. I wouldn't want to go in and get filled in. No. Like I know it's, you know, for a good cause and all that. So I admire anyone that does. Anyone that goes in and does it. I think good. You know, you got big balls, mate.
I think a little bit of closure for me is I went and took the trophy back round to Craigsy's mum and dad's house.
Did ya?
So they've got the little trophy that I won, and that I sort of set up a little like GoFundMe or whatever for.
Oh, you won, did you?
Oh yeah, I won.
Yeah.
Quite easy to be fair.
Was it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was all right. The lad was game, to be honest, and he caught us a couple of times, but I just threw myself in it. I needed that at that time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
you weren't losing.
You could have put me in with anybody. You could have put me in with David Ayer, and I would have won. Like, it was just
you're going for it.
Yeah, I got myself in that frame. I remember being knackered. The trainer was all the way through was saying, "Just pace yourself, mate, pace yourself." But I got myself. I think I got about 95 kilograms, which I'm no mathematician, but is that like high 15, like low 16 stone?
Yeah, how tall are you?
Like 6'5". So
yeah, you must have been.
Look at that, go on, son.
Yeah.
So I look like one of them footy fatheads at the size of my head compared to body. But I always carry my weight around my hips and that now. If I stood up now, you'd see I've got a massive arse and that. But I got myself right down in weight and ended up fighting a lad who was light as well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to be denied that night because I needed to do it for.
You had a bit of fuel in you.
Me,
yeah. So you won. Yeah, you're a bit shredded, like.
Yeah, proud moment. That I wasn't tensing there either, by the way.
Yeah, you weren't tensing there. Of course you were.
I breathed for about 10 seconds.
Well, mate, well done. Right, so you took the trophy back round, then that's it. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, it was that was my little bit. But as I say, a couple of lads have done all sorts. We had a charity football game. My mate Mikey done the Great North Run. Can't run Mike either, and he done the Great North Run last week or the week before. So we have done quite a few things for charity, really, and that even if on this podcast now someone's feeling a bit shitty, make sure you reach out and speak to somebody, whether it's Calm or the other ones. Just make sure you reach out because that's what it's there for, really. So hopefully the charity work that I've done, the other lads have done, Mikey, and things like scope like this, wait and talk about it. If you save somebody or just help one person out, it's more than worth it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well said, and yeah, underlining that again. Yeah, I know we all do forget to reach out to people, but we should try and do one a day, innit? Maybe just think every day I'm just going to text someone.
Yeah.
Maybe once a week.
Just ask someone. You don't even if you see him daily. How you doing, mate? You all right? It was Craig's birthday the other day, and I just put it in our WhatsApp group. 15 lads in it. Now, lads, anyone struggling, just let us know and go for a beer or whatever. That might just be the platform that someone needs.
Yeah, I know. Thingy, it can sound cringe, but it's not. If you know what I'm saying. Some people might think, I'm too cool for that, or I'm not doing that. But it isn't cringe, and it might make a difference. So
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Imagine if you're having a shit day, somebody asks you, it might be the difference.
Yeah. At this time, work just started getting different for me.
In what way?
So we stumbled on the alternate provision. So
right.
we got a young lad who was in foster care in Darlington, and he was attending an alternate provision. He was just getting arrested every day. They'd put him in a community centre and he'd just smash it up. But when he came to our football things on the night, he was golden. He'd listen to all of our coaches, he'd sit down, he'd pay attention. So his foster carer said, "Is there anything you do during the day?" Me and Martin were like, "During the day? What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, there's things called alternate provisions that look after young people who struggle in mainstream school during the day. And he listens to you, so can you come to use during the day?" So we're like, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." And then we took this one difficult kid, and then took 2, 3, 4 more, and then it just sort of snowballed from there, really. And
that's how it began, basically.
That's how it began, yeah. So if it wasn't for that young person coming to our night football thing, and then that foster carer realising that sport was his thing, sport engaged him and got him to where he needed to be, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. And from that day where it was just me looking after that young person to now where we've got a staff team of 25, we've got a fleet of vehicles, we've got 2 sites, Darlington and Sunderland. We've been that successful. We've managed to build a school in Aycliffe that's for people with learning disabilities. So
you built got a full school going?
Yeah.
No way.
School with
and that all started from that one kid?
That one kid, yeah.
How long's that took? From that one kid to where you are now?
Say about 7 years, I think.
7 years?
7 years.
And you've done that full-time 7 years?
Yeah, but I dipped my toe in it and I hated it.
Really?
Getting assaulted every day, you're having to hold kids, you get taught restraints.
Because they're not all good as gold?
No. Yeah, racist remarks, staff getting spat at and scratched and whatever. So we started off hard, difficult, which I might, like I said to you before, get chucked into the deep end and deal with it. I think that's the best way to learn. From being outside West Park School with a bag of balls and Stoney dropping us off to dealing with kids, it's just have a go at it. And that's what we did, and we ended up being good at it, and it suited me. Understand people, whether it's the nightclub, what they need to hear.
You know what, Deano, if you don't mind me saying, just this is the first time I've sat and had a conversation with you, right? And you know what, I've just a penny's just dropped. You have this really calming aura about you.
Yeah, everyone says that, yeah.
It's a really calming aura. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can imagine, I remember them kids from school, like kids like you've described, really, really, you know, disruptive, really, really, you know, whatever you want to say, not conforming, let's just say, to that way. And I can imagine a personality like you, calming, and, you know, you do command respect as well. You come across that way, like, I can imagine your personality just working just right with them.
Yeah, I don't know if it's luck or it's where you brought up, isn't it? And the experiences that you have. So everything we spoke about has probably got to me where I am today, and that's where I never really sit down and think about that, whether it be America, whether that be one of your pals passing away, whatever it is, it all sort of builds you into a person. And luckily for me, we fell into a profession where it suits. And I won't be everybody's cup of tea, like, and that, especially with young people and the way the world's going at the minute. People might cast their own views, but yeah, I'm laid back, I'm calm. I like to think I can hold conversation. It helps that I'm 6'5" and black and don't mind going to the gym, like, because I don't lose my shit very often, but if you need to. The kids 9 times out of 10
you probably don't want a 6'5" fella, you know, losing his shit where you like, you know.
I get worried, but I don't do it very often. But when you do, it takes effect. I'd rather just talk to a kid like this, because that's how I'd like to be. But if you need to lose your shit, sometimes, like, you've got to, and that's where the respect comes as well. And look, a lot of these young people who we after that don't have or haven't had positive role models in their life. And that's where I like to think we can make a difference, really.
It's I think it's a lovely thing you're doing, mate. I really do. And what a rewarding thing. I mean, I mean, that must feel good, because you'll hear some feedback from parents and whatnot of the difference you're making.
Yeah.
And it must, you know, to do something where you know you're doing something good for someone, you might be changing their life. It must feel... You must feel all right. I won't say the name, but they won't mind me saying it. I remember one of the first kids we got, probably 7 years ago now, he wouldn't come downstairs to meet us. So I used to sit downstairs, like, talking to his mum about him. And he'd come down and put his head in the front room and then run back upstairs. Right. But I went back for 6 weeks on the trot without... And I finally managed to get him out of the house, took him to Mackie D's. Right. Oh, that was all right, Deano. Can we do that again next week? Blah, blah. Ended up, he came with us full time. Really?
So, like, 4 or 5 days a week, he used to come, give him any amount of experiences, like, went to waterfalls, went caving, played footy, like, done all sorts. But he was still a little bit of a tour rag, involved in knife crime in the town and fighting and stuff like that. I got a phone call off him probably 6 months ago, and he was in, where was he at? I want to say Estonia, because he's in the army.
Wow.
And he's driving around in the army, like, thanking me, saying, like, how I've helped him out and everything like that. So we've got loads, that's just one example, but there's loads of success stories of where kids have just needed that, someone to be able to relate to them, someone to be able to get through to them, whether it be on a one-to-one basis or in a small group or whatever it is, just a little bit of a change in their life to try and help them on their way.
How does, you know, like, because not all, like, I suppose, as schools, like, what's the word, promoting what yous do, or do yous have to go find the kids, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so schools can refer into us.
Right.
So if someone's struggling in school, they might refer, they think, oh, Future Pathways is going to help them.
And do they?
Is
that what happens?
Yeah, they do. But obviously, there's a cost behind everything, and money's tight in the local authority and in the government at this moment in time. So we can't take all the kids that are struggling. And it might be where another AP might be good for them, because it's something different, that they might like boxing, or they might like, I don't know, hair and beauty, or another type of AP music. There's a few of them out there now.
So there are other ones?
Yeah.
Even in our town?
In our town, in the North East. But I firmly believe that we're the best, just with the people that I have working for me. Like,
how many of yous are there now?
People that work for me?
Yeah.
So there's about 25 staff members. And if you lined us all next to each other, they're all different.
Right.
So
it's a proper outfit, this?
Yeah, all with the same outlook, all with different personalities, all look different.
Right.
and the kids gravitate to who they feel comfortable with and who they feel as all help them. And we run different initiatives. We've done like a antisocial behaviour course on the night time where the kids had to opt to come with us, and that was funded by the government. And we had some really positive feedback about that as well from parents and from kids and stuff like that. So it's just obviously trying to help, trying to change the wheel really, because I believe that like the way schools are at the minute, it's not for everybody.
No.
And it's only going to get worse, and until we realise that, I think it's going to get worse. So we're just trying to put a little bit right, really.
Mate, do you know, I used to always think, and I used to get it said to me when I was growing up by people who were older than me, like adults, and they'd say like, you know, the sort of thing would be that it's easier for yous now, you know, because there was like caning and stuff like that, and you know, like in our mum and dad's days, stuff like that. And yeah, it was, it probably was. But you know what I think? I actually think it's done a 180. I actually think it's harder for kids now.
Yeah.
And it could be to do with them bastard devices, pardon my French.
No, you're right.
It could be that, because they're seeing so much, you know, culture and this and look, I don't want to sound like I'm that. Like, I like urban music. I like, you know, your social medias. I like them.
Yeah.
But I think it's harder for them now. I think it's harder. Yeah, there might be more money floating about, but there's so much more now that they've got to compete with, and so much like stuff they're exposed to now that we really weren't, really.
I always try and think back to the day, like what was our social media, like MSN Messenger and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Mate,
like,
when I was at school, there was none.
Yeah,
we didn't have PCs.
Like, I remember dial-up, like mum and dad had the computer in their room, and then MSN came when I must have been like year 11 or little, and like every now and then you might get, someone might add you and it was someone from another school, and you might have a little bit of chew on that. Now kids can just sit and you can be in a Snapchat group of 100 people all threatening each other and this and that, and video and fights, and it's like a real nightmare to contend with. And obviously I've got a 4-year-old son, and I know I deal with it day in, day out, what young people are like. And listen, a lot of the young people, or most of the young people I work with are a breath of fresh air to me.
Yeah.
And like, if I can help them one little bit, that's brilliant. But it's a tough world out there now, being a kid. And like the expectation on them to succeed in school and succeed outside of school is massive.
Yeah, man.
And it's tough.
How does it make you feel, obviously, getting like the phone call from this lad in Estonia, and like from a personal standpoint, you've been doing this for 7 years, you've grown a big fleet, a big team of people all out there helping the younger generation now. So how does it feel for you to know that you've sort of not orchestrated it, but you've been a part of it, and you've got this team all doing the same thing what you want to do and just helping people? I
go to work proud every day, if I'm honest. Like,
I bet you do.
To be like the manager of 24, 25 great staff members who are all got the same thought process, just want to help young people. You have to be a certain type of person to put up with some of the shit that my staff deal with every day, do you know what I mean? Or every day, or once a month even. It can be, some people aren't cut out for it, but my staff are great, and I'm just proud to say that like Future Pathways was probably, along with probably one or two other alternative provisions, are probably the leaders in the North East of trying to help young people on their journey. And
you were a key part in it.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. But listen, when you get young people phone calling you who are in the army, or someone will stop you in Sainsbury's, or you remember me, you done this for me, I'll never forget that. And like,
yeah, man,
that makes you feel great, do you know what I mean? So I'd like to say, hopefully, and I know Martin's massive on this, is like legacy. Like, I
was going to ask, what do you think? What's the future plans? Do you know? Like, what's like, where do you see this? Do you see this expanding, getting bigger, growing? Like,
I just want to play loads of golf. Like, just get me to a point where I can retire early. But no, in a serious note, like, I don't know. I just want to be on the forefront. I sit on a lot of panels, and if we can help other alternative provisions set up to help more young people, if that's the way the world's going, I just want to help people. Like, I just want to make sure that people. I didn't get a leg up because I worked hard, but I just want to try and inspire people to be what they want. I don't want the people to be inspired how I got inspired with it in a negative. I'd love to be able to people to get inspired by a positive, and if that's me or one of my staff members or something that we do as a company, like that'd be great. I'd love to be able, I know Martin's massive on this, to maybe he's open another school to help people with like learning disabilities, maybe he's a care home to help people who are in care, and just try and go along those lines of just when I'm 60, 70 year old, hopefully I'm still about, I can look back and see that like we did that. And we were the pioneers for it, really.
Yeah, I think you're on the path, to be honest, mate. I think you're on the path from, one little boy to, how many staff, 20?
We've got 24 staff. I think last year we worked with probably 70 different young people, maybe there's a few more, maybe more anyway. I think we had 70 on timetable that once, so it's a right, or if you get a chance, come down, I'll show you around one day. It's like a proper operation of like how we need to run. It's, because then little Johnny's had a fight with little Mark the night before and they've been giving each other grief on Snapchat, so they can't go together that day. You've got to split them up and put them in another group.
You have to be proper clued up on like their social activity and that though, right?
Yeah, and it's about reading people and being able to deal with the frisk when it comes, you know what I mean? Like being able to be reactive, and that's what I'm all about, like just, and that's why my staff are brilliant, like trying to put fires out before they start. I say, if you can like try and see what, from when you knock on that kid's door in the morning.
Can you see it like?
Yeah, you can see what mood they're in. And a lot of the kids now are just honest with you.
Are they?
Yeah, I've done this last night, or I don't like him, or I've had an hour's sleep, I'm going to be grumpy today. Do you mind if I just sit in the back with my AirPods on or whatever? It's like, you've just got to try and inspire. And each, yourself, you'll learn different to me. You'll be inspired by different to what you will be. Do you know what I mean? It's just trying to be bespoke for that young person. That's what we pride ourselves on. Each kid's different, so we need to make sure that their experience with us is different.
Yeah, I think the personality of like the person in your position, either you or one of your members of staff, I think that is important too, because you guys are obviously giving that kid or making them feel like they can be honest with you.
Yeah.
Certainly when I was a kid, I wouldn't have, thinking of a teacher, I wouldn't have told my teacher what was going on. Yeah. But you guys are obviously putting them at ease. Yeah. They've obviously got some trust in you.
Some parts of the job are horrible. You've got to sit on like panels where you got to vote whether or not a kid might have to get took off his parents. Like, it's not nice, is it? But like, you're safeguarding at the same time. Do you know what I mean? And that's what my staff are brilliant at. Like, they're all different. Like, we've got a senior management group. Like Becky, Gav, Boise, Tyler, Vez, Alice in the office, like all people who just their job is to make sure that we safeguard children the best and give the children the best opportunity, really. And then we've got the people who are on the ground day to day. They're the real ones who need to put the message across, really. And if it wasn't for the people on the ground, like we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So I'm forever thankful for them. But I think they respect me because I've been there. Like, I've took kids to Hollywood Bowl a million times. Like, I've been in the classroom with them, and when one's tried to run away, I've walked around the town with them for an hour trying to make sure that they're not doing out daft. So, like, I've been there, and I think that's why I'm well respected in my staff team, because they know that, like, I started it, really, and I've been there and done it.
You're not just talking the talk, you've walked the walk as well, yeah. Mate, it's pretty inspiring, to be honest, mate. And it's nice. Sometimes we do get people that come that are doing real good things like that. And yeah, man, it's
you've got a heart of gold, mate.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, mate. I wish I'm over the moon. We haven't spoke about me Ben Nevis trip, and because I nearly died at the top of Ben Nevis for charity, which wasn't the best thing to do. And this just epitomises like Deano Browne and his life, really.
Please enlighten us.
So probably about 15 years ago, I climbed Ben Nevis, but I just done it in shorts and like a t-shirt.
And Ben Nevis is where again?
Scotland, like the highest peak in the UK.
Nippy?
Oh, it was all right. I'll be honest, it was all right at that time. When I went that time, it was all right.
Right.
But obviously last year, we decided the Future Pathways staff, some of the lads, were going to do the 3 peaks.
Right.
And we decided to do Ben Nevis first, then Scarfell Pike, I think it is, and then Snowdonia in Wales. Obviously, you've got to try and do it in 24 hours. But me being me, unprepared, just turned up with like a pair of shorts on again and a t-shirt, and it was like -7 at the top. So it took us like 2.5 hours to get to the top. I've got to the top, and like I had them walking poles, and I was sweating, and like my beard had frozen over, my hands had like stuck to like the poles. It was like seeing out like Dumber and Dummy, when they're on the scooter. I was like that, and I was saying to the lads, I need to get off here. I need to get off the peak. I'm struggling.
Yeah. What did you do?
So I went down a little bit. Mate, I collapsed at the top.
Oh, for God's sake.
Did
you?
Yeah, it was like -11 or something with wind chill, and I think I just got hypothermia. So the lads were brilliant. Like, the lads who went with us, like, I wouldn't say they saved my life. I wouldn't go as far. Well, probably did, to be fair, but they took turns and, like, carrying us down. Quite embarrassing, to be fair.
Proper lump to carry,
I know, yeah. So,
never.
But then, honestly, about when we got down where it was a little bit warmer, I was brand new. I think I jogged the last bit. And then I got in the van and I had one of them silver things on, like,
Did you?
making sure I was all right. And then managed to get up Scarfell Pike after that when I was struggling.
So this happened on the first one?
Happened on the first one, yeah, which wasn't ideal.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, then got
You're a bit more prepared for Scarfell.
Nah. The lads were giving us a load of grief. Like, get them energy gels into you, and I think they had a bacon sarnie and a coffee from Greg. So get that into you. We'll go up. Yeah, well, come on, we can still do it. So
did you do it?
No, we went up there and come back down. But then one of the other lads had a bereavement in his family, so we had to go home.
Ah, no.
So, which was a horrible thing, but. I know it sounds horrible, but I don't think I'd been able to do another one. Or if I did, I'd have probably put myself at risk again and put the lads at risk. So I remember the one about getting like a flare out and like getting the helicopter down to get me and everything like that.
Oh.
But then like we were lucky because a group just come past with one of them foil blankets, and if I didn't have that and the lads to like get me to where it was warmer, I'd have probably you'd have seen me on Channel 4 probably getting saved on some sort of rescue programme.
What a shamer.
Yeah.
It is a nightmare though, isn't it? You know, like, you do have to, like, you hear these stories of people go up these mountains and stuff, and like, yeah, some people go up, they come down, yeah, getting in, but then like some people go up and like they weren't really. You'll hear on the news, like, 69-year-old man has collapsed halfway up Mount Everest, and you're like, right. Yeah. Was it not mapped out for you, pal? Yeah. Like, you probably shouldn't be going up there, mate.
Like, the lads will say that I was the least prepared there.
It sounds it, mate, to be fair.
That to me, in a nutshell, like I said, yeah, just chuck myself in it and I'll deal with it when I'm in it. So
yeah.
That's sort of the theme. I should learn now, really, to be fair.
It is definitely the theme of this show, mate. Yeah, but you know what? When it's all said and done, it serves you well.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I think so.
I think it does serve you well.
Yeah.
All in. Go for it. See what happens.
Yeah, you've got to have self-belief, haven't you, I think?
Yeah.
That's top and bottom of it, like, and whatever it's in. So I think that's me at the minute, and the way Future Pathways is going, the people that I have around me, that's really important. Like, the people around me make me better, make the company better. So it's great for me at the minute.
Mate, I'm chuffed to bits with that.
No problem.
Yeah, mate, you're
really
doing amazing things here. I love this. Story's fucking mental. It's like you've done everything. Like,
there's even probably lots more what we haven't covered.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, there'll be some other crazy stories around the way, but
there always is. I mean, how do you do a life story in an hour and a half?
I know.
It's impossible.
Just want to give a shout out to my son.
Please.
Just my son Rio, and about life events that change your life. He come along, and obviously I've always wanted to be a dad, but he come along in lockdown, which was obviously a difficult time for everybody. And yeah, sort of, that's why I do what I do now, because I want Rio to have what I had, like hard-working parents. If I wanted a pair of footy boots, although there might have been gold Umbro ones, I got a pair of football boots, do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I want for my son going forward. So just want to thank Rio as well for coming into my life at that time and just making sure that now I'm a dad, that I've got that drive for him, really. It hasn't been easy. He hasn't been easy. In lockdown, really difficult, like socially for Rio.
Totally.
So we've done like a lot of speech and language and stuff with him, but he works just as hard as me, bless him. He's a grafter. He's going to Mowden School, which I'm really proud of, and he's loving every day. So that's another catalyst for me. It's something that's coming into my life where I want to work really hard to make sure that I can provide for him like my parents provided for me.
That's nice, that, mate. Just like you say, you always, that was one of the first things you said, that your mum and dad were proper grafters and proper did everything they could for you.
Yeah.
And you're following that through now.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I'm trying.
Yeah, man. It's
You're
beautiful.
Inspiring, mate.
Yeah, it's quite inspiring, that, mate.
As well. I've loved it.
Yeah, people. How long have you been rolling, Ron?
We are an hour and 50, but just before we end, we will put Future Pathways, the link, in the description if you know someone who could benefit from it, or if you yourself have a child or anyone who could benefit from it, do reach out.
Yeah, please do, yeah.
They might not be local to you, but they might be able to point you in the direction of someone else who can help. As well as that, we'll also put the the links below for things like Calm and stuff like that. So if someone is struggling with mental health and no one has reached out to you, just know that there is people out there who are willing to talk to you, who will listen to your story, and who will be there to help you for the future.
Spot on that.
Here.
Yeah.
And a picture of the yellow vest, yeah?
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
We'll have to get that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been People Like Us. That's been Deano Browne. We'll see you next time.
I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. I need to say something.